of State for Petroleum has explained why government will not subsidize PMS for Nigerians again. He said government may not be able to pay salary after payment of subsidy. He explained this shortly after a meeting with the Minister of Petroleum, who is at the same time the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari.
Thank you very much. Let us first agree that these are not the best of times, not only for Nigeria, but for the global community. What we have said over and over again as a government is that government is no longer in the business of fixing pump price. That is the meaning of deregulation and stepping back from subsidy. Yes, we are very aware that this will result in some increase, but why do we have to do this? Because it is clearly impossible for government to continue to subsidize. The money is not there now. Just take the example of our production levels. Our crude oil production level was over 2 million barrels per day. Today, to comply with OPEC cuts and quota, we have reduced production to 1.4 million barrels. Having reduced production to 1.4 million barrels, crude oil is also not selling at an optimal rate. Where do you get the money to continue to subsidize? I was just discussing with someone today that we just have to make a choice. If government were to continue with subsidy, it means, for example, at some point that we may not even have money after subsidizing petrol to pay salaries. You have to choose. It is very clear that today things are not as they were before. The earnings of government have reduced by 60%. And what is happening in the oil sector reflects what is happening elsewhere. Our FIROS collections have also reduced because less oil is being produced. There is less activity in the oil industry, which is driving the economy. So you find out that it is a double whammy from all sides. I am telling you, if Mr. President could have continued with subsidy, he would have. But when you look at the facts before us, it is not possible. And of course, we are seeing some of the effects, but I believe that at this point, we are still trying to cross the first bump. We will get used to it as Nigerians. Look at it. I mean, a situation where diesel had been deregulated long ago, a situation where kerosene had been deregulated long ago, and these are the fuels that the poorest people in Nigeria interact with more. Why do I say that? If you want to transport food from the north to the south, it will be by trucks that are run by diesel, not with petrol. Those trucks that transport food from the north to the south are usually run by diesel. Kerosene is the preferred fuel at the lowest level of our society. These have been deregulated long ago. So what is the problem with deregulating petrol, which is mostly used by the elite? Let us be fair to this country. Let us be fair to the poor people in this country. If we had deregulated what they were using, then there is actually no reason why we should continue to subsidize petrol. I feel so. That's my personal feeling. But the only explanation to everything we are saying is that the country just could not afford subsidy anymore. It's unfortunate that we are experiencing some of these things now, but we will get by. We will get by, and I'm sure that when things stabilize, when our earnings begin to improve, you will begin to see the benefits of what this government has done. Thank you very much. First and foremost, my discussions with Mr. President are just routine briefings. As you are well aware, Mr. President is the Minister of Petroleum. I am Minister of State, so I have to continually brief him on what is happening as my minister. That's why I was here. But if you go back, going back to what you asked again about what was responsible, I thought we've explained this over and over again, and let us please listen to ourselves. Petrol is refined from crude oil. So, petrol price is directly related to the price of crude oil in the market. So if I buy crude oil at so-so and I refine this month, if the crude oil price is low at the time, then my petrol price will become lower because the feedstock from which I refined petrol was lower, the price was lower. Now, if today the price of crude oil go up, then it means that the price of the feedstock has gone higher. It will also affect the price of the refined product. And that is why you see that product prices are usually not static. It depends on the price of crude oil, which goes up and down. That is why we say deregulate, so that as the price go up or down, you begin to go up and down as well at the pump. Before now, we fixed it, which was not optimal for us as a country. So we say, look, our earnings are not fixed because our earnings are dependent on crude oil price. If we fix it at this end, then it becomes unsustainable at some point. So let us keep it floating so that if crude oil prices go up, then you will see a reflection of that. If crude oil prices go lower, you see a reflection of that at the pump. Now, what happened recently was because of the announcement of a vaccine for COVID by Pfizer. With that, crude oil prices went up a little bit. If you've been following crude oil prices, you would have seen that crude oil prices went up a little bit as a result of this announcement. So when crude oil prices go up a little bit, then you will see that instantly reflect on the price of petrol, which is a derivative of crude oil. So that is why you see that there is this movement, and if we listen to ourselves, this is the same explanation we've been given. That if crude oil, when the pump prices came down, we reduced the pump price because it reflected. We saw that crude oil prices were lower, so we reduced the pump price when we deregulated. Then when the crude oil prices went up, it went up. When it's coming down, it goes down. That is how it is. So that is why you will be seeing this go up and down in the marketplace. And we have also now introduced the alternative fuel, which is gas, because we feel that at least it's important for Nigerians to have another option which will be cheaper.